So I realized that I erased all of my Cyberpunk 2077 footage, but I hope you enjoy the Dark Souls 3 in the background. And guys, if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel. It's going to help me out big time. And let's get started with the video. Alright, so Cyberpunk 2077. Where do I even begin? Let's talk about this game, and I'm going to try to talk about all the things that I loved about it, I hated, and I do want to, first off say that I was really excited for this game. I mean, if you go back to one of my earlier podcasts with, two of my buddies, and we were talking about upcoming games and, what are we excited for? Cyberpunk was always number one. I just couldn't wait to get my hands on this. Not only did I like what I was seeing, but I also... I respected CD Projekt Red. They did The Witcher 3, and that's a game I really loved, and that's a developer that I grew to respect because their kind of reputation was, hey, we make games, we have quality, we care about the fans, we care about the gamers, and that was kind of always the thing that I really respected about them, was they kind of stood out in that way that, they're not going to release anything broken. They're going to respect gamers. They're going to do things right. It's just insane because I don't think anybody predicted this. I don't think anybody predicted what happened to Cyberpunk 2077 to the point where PlayStation took the game off of the store, off of the online store. I've never seen that before. I've never even heard of this before. I don't know if they've done this in the past. But that's some crazy shit if PlayStation is like, nah, dude, we're going to take this off until you guys figure it out. And then when you guys figure it out, we'll put this game back on. So the game is back on the PlayStation Store. I have not played it since because I already beat the game and I've already moved on, to be honest. Like, the hype and the excitement is gone, and this is a game that I thought that I was going to play for years, and I was going to put a lot of time into it, and, I've already beaten this game, by the way. Like, I already played this game in its entirety. I played it on the PlayStation 5. I had a lot of ups and downs. I had a lot of emotions with this game, because on one hand, it was beautiful, and it looked awesome, and the cars, and the guns, and, just the world. Night City was amazing. Especially at night with all the lights. It was really cool. When this game did things that were awesome, they truly were awesome. You also have to understand that, a lot of the things that I felt were promised, a lot of the hype and excitement, I just didn't feel when I fully played this game, when I fully got my hands on this game. The world felt a little empty. I mean, I'm not even touching on the bugs yet, and the glitches, and the crashes. But, didn't hit. It didn't hit a lot of the times. And this is not because of the technical issues. It just felt a lot of kind of emptiness. You're driving in the street and people are walking by, but it's lifeless. Sure, the city is amazing and it's fun to drive through it and it's awesome. The NPCs are lifeless, and, some of the mission structures and quests were kind of, some were cool, some weren't. I think the main missions were really good. I think, Johnny Silverhand, Keanu Reeves, his character was awesome, and obviously, he kind of added a little bit more to the experience, but even then, the main missions didn't hit as good as I thought it would. The first mission, the first, hour or two, I think is amazing, but the ending was dumb, and I thought it felt really short. Let's talk about the glitches and the bugs, because, man, I mean, like I said, I played this on the PlayStation 5. This game crashed on me so many times to the point where I was so fucking frustrated that I wanted to take the disc out and fucking break it. It would crash every hour, and I still beat this game. I was still patient enough to kind of play this game, and I waited for all the little updates that would come out here and there, the patches, because I felt like I owed it to myself. This game was something that I was really excited for. I got the collector's edition. I talked nonstop about this game, so I felt like I owed it to myself to at least beat it, and I did. And I was just, bugs aside, I was just, it was whatever, you know what I mean? The cars were cool, and the gameplay was cool too. You can hack and do all these things, but it just didn't hit that mark. It didn't hit. And this is a perfect example of, I always bring this quote up when it comes to these big AAA games, and it's the ambition far exceeds the talent. And this is a perfect analogy. This is a perfect example of that quote. I mean, Cyberpunk 2077, I think the world and the lore and the ambition, it just far exceeded the talent and the skills and the vision for what this game could have been. And we can sit here and talk about, did it get delayed? Why did it get delayed? And, why didn't it get delayed even more? And why did it release on last generation consoles? The thing is, I played on the PlayStation 5 and I still experienced a lot of issues. So I can't even imagine what it would be like on the PlayStation 4. And oh my God, the base Xbox One. Good God. I would never even want to touch this. So it makes you question, like, why? Why did they release it there? Well, one answer is they want to maximize profits, right? I mean, they made a shitload of money. They made a insane amount. So of course they're going to release it on last generation, even though it's broken, because they want to maximize profits. But this is where I lost respect for the company. The company cared more about revenue, about sales, about numbers, than they did the consumer, than they did the reputation of the company. And that's the irony of this whole thing is Cyberpunk, Night City. It's about corporations. It's about, all of these things that are kind of like fucking the average person, right? And then you have the people doing the same thing to the consumer, to the gamer. And I thought that was kind of ironic, but I don't know. This is a really weird one because I don't think we've ever seen a game like this ever happen. Not at this level. Not at this magnitude and caliber. And it sucks, man, because there's times where I really think about this game and I'm like, I miss it. Because there are aspects of this game that I really enjoyed. It's also one of those things with me, like if, once I'm past it, once I've gone, it's not really, there's not a lot of coming back. And this happens with a lot of games. You know what I mean? Like you release it broken. It doesn't matter if it's patched down the road. It doesn't matter if it's fixed. Like people have moved on. Especially if you have other games to play, especially if there's brand new games coming down the pipeline and you're playing those games or you're more excited for those games. You don't give a fuck about an old game that was broken. You might go back to it. And the biggest appointment is the reputation that was just really lost. It's going to take a very long time for CD Projekt Red to rebuild that reputation, to prove to, gamers and the consumers that, hey, we fucked up. Let's make things right. And I don't know how they're going to do it and what's going to happen. Let's talk about some of the things that I really did enjoy about this game. And like I said before, the whole like ambition far exceeds its talent. The ambition of this game, like the art design and kind of the world is really cool. Like I have the art book for this game. I have the collector's edition. You could tll they have something here and the vision is truly amazing. Was it, implemented the way we all wanted? Maybe not. Like, did it hit for some people? Maybe. Like the artwork, car designs are amazing. Like the cars in this game are super cool. The weapons and, even the gameplay, it has its level of jank for sure, especially the combat. Even though I loved running around with like a katana, the sword hands or whatever, I enjoyed the melee because it was fun, but it was definitely janky. The gunplay was also, it could have been fine-tuned a little bit more. There's that. I like the hacking. The hacking and how you can hack actual like different enemies and stuff like that and make them do things. That was all cool. I just think that it could have been implemented way better than it was. Maybe they spent a lot of time on like Night City and creating this city and bringing it to life that they probably didn't put a lot of time into, other things. Again, this game has been, in the works for many, many years. And at the end of the day, when I really think about this game, I do feel like it was trying to do so many things at once. It was trying to be a first person. It had driving. It was open world. It was an RPG. It was, it was trying to do all of these things. And it fell short at the end of the day. And I think some of that blame is definitely more on the publisher side, like the marketing, the hype behind all of that, because it's really, I don't like to put a lot of blame on the developers because you don't know the situation. Like, and there's also been talks that the developers even told the publishers, like, yo, we need more time, or the investors or the shareholders or whoever it was. The developers are always the people that are making the game. They're the ones who drive the passion. And it's usually the publishers, it's usually people who are publishing the game who usually fuck the credibility of that game. And, you know, that's where the microtransactions and you know, the marketing and the money and all of that crap, it's usually tied with the publisher. So I think that, you know, I think the developers did their job. I would have loved to see this game get delayed, even though this game got delayed so many times. I was getting frustrated, you know, naturally. I was just like, dude, come on, man. Is this game ever going to come out? Because when you set a date and then you keep delaying it, yeah, it can get annoying. After you know, everything that happened, after the chaos, like, would I have rather waited? Would I have had them delay this game until it was final and ready? And if that meant a year or even a 2 from now, I would have waited, man. Because it sucks to see this game crash the way it did, to the point where PlayStation took it off. And I would have just dumped last generation, and just dump it. Just let it go. Again, it goes back to maximizing profits, trying to make a lot of money. Most people have the last generation consoles, so of course, from a business perspective, of course, they're gonna you know, release it there, knowing that it's broken. You can't tell me you didn't know that it was broken. There's no way. You knew it was broken, and you released it in that state. Lots of respect lost. I mean, those are kind of my thoughts. I kind of rambled. They're all over the place, and I apologize for that. This is a game that I love and I hate equally. Just, you know, just talking about this game, it brings back memories of real frustration. It's not just the bugs and the crashes and the glitches. It's really the DNA of this game that I felt like it fell short. Even if this game is fixed, I don't know. I've moved on and I'm ready to play other things. There's so many other games to play. There's so many new games to play. But those are my thoughts on Cyberpunk 2077. I apologize if I rambled a lot and I kind of like went off topic here and there. But yeah, just wanted to share my thoughts with this game. You know, give you my thoughts. What do you think about Cyberpunk 2077? Have you played it? Have you beat it? Are you waiting? Let me know